So some days ago, I was scrolling, and the people who know me, they know that I don't scroll. I'm not someone who scrolls or sit down and dedicate his time on scrolling. Well, I also got caught in that loop of scrolling. And after some time, my net stopped working because of whatever reason. And as it stopped working, I just came back to reality and I realized that half an hour has been passed of me procrastinating on a very important work that I really need to do. And I scrolled straight for 30 minutes or more than 30 minutes. And then I realized the importance of being present. Like, it was not even like, okay, yeah, now my net is stop working, now I should work. It was like, I woke up from a sleep, I woke up from a dream. I wasn't even present. Like, I was stuck in that loop and I didn't even realize that half an hour has been passed. I wasn't even conscious. That is what I want to say. I want to say that I wasn't even conscious in that moment. I wasn't even in that moment. My mind was shut. I was not conscious, and um, that situation when my net stopped working, I came back to reality. I became present again, and at that time, I got to know the importance of being present again. Like, I know that being present is really, really, really important, but that time I realized it again. So now I wanted to make a even more detailed video on being present, because now I understand that it is even more important than I thought it was. So I figured out that an advice which I gave in one of my previous videos on being present is incomplete. It is not false, it is not wrong, but it is incomplete. There is one part which I got to know when I was really thinking hard about this topic, about this video yesterday, that my advice that I gave previously is incomplete. And that I really used to give to everyone. Like, I gave it to many people, some of my students and many other people. I gave that advice to, and it is really incomplete. First, let me tell you that advice which I used to give it, because that is not wrong, it is not false, it is very, very helpful, very, very useful. Then I will add on the part which I didn't add previously. So, what you need to know, like, this is what I used to say, that you need to know only two things in order to never procrastinate. Only two things. If you know these two things, you will never procrastinate. What are those two things? Number one, what do you want? That is the first thing that you need to know in order to never procrastinate. Is what do you want? What do you want? Like, actually, so what do I mean by what do you want? Is, for example, I want that win in my next fight. I want to buy that bike next year on cash. And next year, like 1 year after that, I want to buy a car on cash. With that 7-seater, for example, Scorpio or whatever, you know. So that is what I want. I want to retire my parents, or I want to become independent in the next 6 months. I want to pay for my, like, all of my stuff for my living. I want to be able to pay for my living next 6 months. So that is what I want. So what do you want is basically what your goal is. And you have to figure out what your goal is. And if you don't know what your goal is, what are you doing, man? What are you doing in life if you don't even know what your goal is? Okay. Well, many people don't. You don't have to stress on it too much. I made it sound like you do, but yeah, you don't have to stress on it too much. You will figure it out. But right now, just like, don't go with the flow. That is a really bad mentality. It won't get you anywhere. You will be stuck in, making other people's goals come true, and then the time will pass, and now you can no more get your own goals to come true. So you have to figure out what your goals are. And in order to figure out what your goals are, look into your desires. That is the thing which I really say that you should do. So look into your desires. What are your desires? You want a bike, a car, a big house, and then think, how do you want to those desires come true? So I want to make those desires come true by being famous, by teaching, by being a fighter. Yeah. So think about that. And one more, like, thing that you two more things that you can do. One is journaling, which many people don't do even when I tell them to, because that really helps. It really helps. But most of you are lazy. Second, get yourself in a room and lock yourself in until you figure out your goal, until you figure out how you're going to achieve your dreams, right? And when you figure out how you're going to achieve your dreams, check out the link in the description. That will help you achieve your dreams. Okay. Second thing, now you have a clear vision. What you need to know next is what do you want right now, or what do you need to do right now. So that is for me right now. I want to make a video, or I need to make a video. What do you need to do right now? Watch this video. What do you need to do after that? Probably not what you're going to do, which is doom scrolling or watching some fun video or some Netflix. What do you need to do after this video? You need to work. You need to journal if you don't know your goal. You need to take action. You need to write what you want. You need to write what do you like. What do you want right now? And if you struggle with this, if you really struggle with this, one thing that I want you to do is I want you to create a wallpaper. Oh, sorry, a routine, a daily routine on Google Calendars, and put it on your wallpaper. That is what I have done, and I'll put a picture on it right here. Picture of it right here. That is what I have done. So now, like whenever I forget, whenever it doesn't cross my mind, then what do I need to do whenever I forget? What I need to do? I just look at my wallpaper and it's right there. And then I do that. Right? So that is what you need to do. If you struggle with this, if you forget that what do you want right now, then just make a daily routine on Google Calendars and put it right there. Or if you don't want to make it on Google Calendars, if you don't want to put it as your wallpaper, then just simply make it on a paper and paste it on the wall. As simple as that. Nothing complex. Two things they need to. And why knowing that is really important? Because when I was watching those reels, if in that moment I would have known that I need to work, or for example, like I don't remember exactly what I needed to do at the time. I guess it was scripting my video. Yeah, I guess it was scripting my video. So if in that moment I knew these two things, that I need, like I want to become independent in the next 6 months. I want to be able to pay for all of my expenses after next 6 months, or in the time of next 6 months. And for that, I need to script my YouTube video right now. I need to script my video right working now. If I was present in the moment, as I am now, and I knew those two things, would I have procrastinated? Probably not, right? Well, there is a case. There comes the missing thing. There comes the thing. There comes my advice, which was missing from my previous video. Well, if I just said that, if I knew those two things, I would have never procrastinated. I would have understood, yeah, that is what I want, and that is what I want right now, and I need to do that. I would have got up from the chair, sat in front of my laptop, and would have scripted my video. If I would have said that, you would have believed it in it, right? Most probably you would have. But I found that that was incomplete. Yes, that is a very, very much necessary and essential thing, but that is incomplete. Because when I was really thinking about how procrastination really happens, I thought, I got to know that procrastination does not happen when you don't know what to do. It happens when you know what to do, but you still, procrastinate on. You still, you still postpone it on a different time. You postpone it. You say that, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, or tomorrow, in the night, or 1 hour after some reels, after eating this, after and whatever. Procrastination happens when you postpone the task that you know that you need to do. But still, that advice which I gave is really important. You absolutely do need to know what you want and what you want right now. That is what you need to do if you want my next advice, which completed my previous advice, which I just gave you, which is what you want and what you want right now, requires the first one. First advice is incomplete without the second one, and second advice is incomplete without the first one. That is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So, what is the second advice? So, how procrastination happens? Let us visualize. Let me give you an example. So, for example, let's say there is a kid who needs to study. Okay, let's say it's me and I need to study for my exam, right? Or for a test tomorrow or whatever. I need to study. So I wake up and so a night before I plan that I'm going to study in the morning. I wake up and I do whatever my routine is, and I say that okay, let's study. But what does my mind say? Well, I just woke up and I'm tired right now. Well, I have a headache right now because I just woke up. Well, let's eat something. I don't have much energy right now to work. And you'll be like, okay, let's eat something. Fair enough. You're right. I have an headache and I am low on energy. Let's eat something. Then you go and you eat something. And then you're like, "Oh, let's study now." Well, I just ate right now and I'm feeling really heavy and I feel like resting a little bit. Let's go for a walk. I feel really heavy. Let's go for a walk. Then you go and you say, oh yeah, fair enough. I'm feeling heavy. I really ate and let's go for a walk. Then you'll be like, oh, but going for a walk alone will be very really boring. Let's call a friend. But I will say to him that I will tell him that I am only coming for 15 minutes. Then you call a friend. You call the friend which lives in your society. Then you're like, let's come for, and that 15 minutes walk turns into 1.5 hour walk. Why? Because you are enjoying and you don't realize. And even if you do realize, you just ignore that thought of studying, right? Then after that, you come home. Then you're like, yeah, now I will study. Yeah. But now some other work comes up. Your mom gives you some work. Or now it's like after now it's time for lunch or whatever. Right? And that is how you procrastinate for the whole day. And in the night you say, okay, I will study tomorrow, I promise. So that is what I figured out, that procrastination does not happen when we don't know the task. It happens when we know the task. But still, for some reason, we don't understand the depth of importance that task, like which that task holds. Right? That is what we don't understand. And the first advice, which will help you understand the depth of importance which that task holds. So what you need to do in the first advice, again for the very last time, is you need to take a deep breath. What do I want? I want a rank in JE or NEET or like in whatever fucking degree. What do I want right now? I want to study right now. What do I need to do right now? I need to study right now. I need to sit down and study. I really need to do that. Now your mind will start fighting you. So now the thing is, now let me ask you a question. I've asked this a lot of times. Not a lot of time, but in 2, 3 of my videos. For example, there are there is a badminton match between two people. One of them has won, let's say, 5,000 times from the second one. Like A and B had a lot of matches, like 5, 6,000 matches, and A has won 99% of them, and B has won only 1% of them. And I tell you that you need to put your money, half of your wealth, on one of them, or your whole wealth on one of them. Who will you put it on? If you're intelligent, you will say A because he has won 99% of the time. From B, you will put your money on A. Why? Because of probability. Because you know that A will probably win again. But you're a dumb piece of cake. Why? Because you are putting money on B without even realizing. So let me clarify. You and your mind had this conversation about 1,000 fucking times, where you know what work you need to do, and still your mind convinced you to do something else. Your mind convinced you to not do that work 1,000 fucking times, and still you are trying to fight your mind, and still you are attempting to win. Still you are fighting that. No, no, like you sit there, and when your mind tells you you are tired, don't do it now. You say no, no, like but I need to do it. Like I promise that I will do it. No, no, but you are tired, but you are this, but you are that. No, but I need to do it. But but it is very important. But you're tired, bro. Okay, just eat something. Then you will do it. Then like we'll do it for sure. Just eat something that you know, just a little bit. Just go. Let's just go for a 15 minutes walk. Let's just watch that 10 minutes stand-up comedy video to light up your mood. Let's listen to some songs to light up your mood. After that we will do the work. I promise. I won't be in your way. I promise. You see, your mind will always 99% of the time your mind will win from you because it has been winning from you. It knows everything about you. It knows how to convince you. It knows every part of you, and it will win the next time you try to fight it too. So now you might be asking, Arnav, what's the solution? If I can never win, what's the solution? Should I just give up my desire? Should I just give up my want? Should I just give it up and never do the work? No, silly. You need to just not fight. What you are doing is you're trying to avoid your mind. But what you need to do is to ignore your mind. There is a big difference. When we avoid, that avoiding is actively ignoring it. Actively trying to ignore it, fight it. But ignoring is just not even giving it a thought, not even giving it a chance. So what you need to do the next time your mind tells you to procrastinate, don't listen. I need good grades. I need to study right now for that. Go and study. Don't even listen. Don't even listen. So for example, in the same previous example, if you would have woken up in the morning and your mind say, okay, right now, like I have a headache, and let's eat something. Let's eat something. Then we'll have some energy. I'm low on energy. I'm tired. I have a headache, and that or that and this. As your mind said that, you have to do. What do you have to do? Shut the fuck up. Do it now. That is what you have to say to yourself. That is what you have to tell yourself. Shut up and do it now. That's all. That is what I told myself before making this video. These were my exact words. Shut up and do it now. That's all. That is what it takes. When you breathe deeply, you remember what you need. In your mind, you think what you need. And then you say it. Then you tell yourself, shut up and do it now. And you go do the fucking work. Just ignore your mind. Don't try to fight it. And I promise this will work.